This episode is brought to you by marketing consulting firm The Bonafide Lyrics and Marketing, LLC, where creativity meets business. You can check us out at www.theblm.com for more information on how we help local artists and creatives maximize their business presence. Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
It's the All Love, No Fear podcast.
Hey.
It's the All Love, No Fear podcast.
Hey.
Check us out. It's the All Love, Oh, No Fear podcast. All Love, Oh, No Fear podcast.
Hey. We are here.
We are.
We are.
We're in the building.
Yes, we are in the building.
It's going down.
My headphones are doing terrible things, but we are here.
Okay, that's what's happening. What's going on?
We are here. We are here. We are live.
Live and direct.
I guess I want to send messages out to the peoples. But yeah, we are here. It's season 2, episode 8 of the All Love No Fear podcast.
See.
You have your host, Miss Kaybee, who's here.
Yes, that's me. What is happening with those headphones? The sound is crazy. Hi, yeah. I'm here. Ready to pod.
Yep. And you have your co-host, Mr. Mark Metapoetic Bennett. That is myself.
I was going to introduce you.
Oh.
And you have your host, Mr. Mark Metapoetic Bennett.
Mark Metapoetic Bennett.
That's him. He's here. Ready to do the podding as well.
Word.
Yeah. How y'all doing? What's shaking and baking?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, I think I'm good now. My levels were terrible for a little bit, but now we are good.
Okay.
We are good.
Okay. Something is punching my ear aggressively, but I don't know if it's your headphones.
Is it my voice?
No. It's just something weird happening. But whatever. We're going to figure it out.
Punch.
Maybe it just sounds that way to me, but it doesn't sound that way to anybody else, which is completely fine.
Well, shout out to the people out in Facebook land.
Yes, hey Facebook land people. Hello.
Shout out to the people in Spotify land.
Yes,
the land
hey.
of Spotus.
Hey Spotus. Hey Apple Music people.
Google
Podcast people.
Stitcher, Podbean,
iHeartRadio.
Blueberry.
Blueberry.
Himalaya.
You remembered.
Yes,
I'm so proud.
Yes.
Because always remember, this is an international podcast.
We are international.
Okay.
Word.
Okay.
But yeah, shout out to
Denise.
everybody. Hello. But
Yes.
shout out to everybody. So for the people who like looking at our video,
Yes.
usually when it comes in, it has not come up yet, as you see from last month.
Yeah.
We are having some strong technical issues.
Yeah, the
that
struggle.
are going on.
Struggles. So many struggles.
I'm going to try it again this time. Coming up and see what's going on.
Yeah.
If it doesn't come out well, we're going to have to shut it down for a little bit because I want to make sure that you have a quality product. I don't want to do anything.
Just give you any old rinky-dinky trash
so
product.
I'm going to have to start investing in some better computers, better cameras, and just try to make it a better quality product.
We're trying to give you all quality, okay? Not quantity, but quality.
That is also why I want to make sure we do this live, so at least you have something.
Right.
So hello, everybody. So you have something that you can gem out to.
Yes, facts.
From our podcast.
Actual facts.
Before we get into the love it or lose it, I just want to point out that this is the first episode of our My Love is Fearless campaign.
Yes.
My Love is Fearless. It's hashtag My Love is Fearless. It's a new campaign we're going to start with. What is My Love is Fearless? So we all have a passion, whether it's what we do with our career, our creativity, our art, what we do every day. We have certain passions that we have, and that passion, I say, is like our love. It's what we love doing.
Right.
And for us to attack that passion, for us to move forward with that passion, we have to be fearless in moving. So,
come on, somebody.
So this is a declarative statement that my love is fearless.
Declarative.
So
you heard that word? Declarative.
Declarative. So what we're going to do is for this first My Love is Fearless, we have a topic coming up that talks about that. We're going to have a series of a few. We haven't determined the number yet.
Yes,
we have a few series, and we're going to have some other things that go hand in hand with it. But we want everybody to use
new things.
we want everybody to start using that My Love is Fearless and start posting things about how you are fearless in your passion.
Yes.
And how we're going to move forward together.
Yep.
And move forward with that. So once again, hashtag My Love is Fearless.
Yes, that will
What are
be
you
out
fearless
in
about?
streets.
What are you passionate about?
Mm-hmm.
And we can go from there. All right.
Word.
So how's your weekend going?
My weekend is going good. I'm really happy that it's a 4-day weekend because I need some sleep. I took a nap today before I came here, so I'm really, really excited about that. I'm very awake because I try not to drink coffee on the weekend. So, napping is important if I'm not going to drink coffee on the weekend. So I didn't drink any coffee since, Friday?
Okay.
I should have drank some on Friday because that was a doozy. So Friday, we went to MLK, the MLK Scholarship Fundraiser for Mark's agency at Crest Hollow. Really, really nice. Super cute. Loved it. Pardon me. It was a really, really nice time. I just wish I would have either taken a longer nap or got some coffee before I went. Because it's a long night. Because we got there at 6.
Yeah.
And didn't leave till
about 11:30.
About 11:30.
Yep.
That's a long night for me.
It's
I can't hang like I once could.
It's quite long.
It is. And I mean, everything was great. Like the food was great. Like it was a good party and whatever. But I'm like, I'm not set up for this anymore.
Word.
I can't.
But yeah, so I'm glad everybody's doing well.
How about you?
I'm doing all right. Got a lot of rest yesterday, honestly. So I'm glad we got rest. It's going to be a rest filled. A few things I got to work on and focus on for this upcoming weekend.
Okay.
A few things I got to do in terms of business wise. There's a lot of things that got to move and shake. Hopefully you'll get a lot of updates that are coming up before the month is over.
Yes.
And
closing out the month strong.
Yeah. Yep. Before we get into Black History Month, because you want to start Black History Month strong.
Word.
Strong and with purpose.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So, right into our Love It or Lose It.
Okay.
Love it or lose it. Hey, love it or lose it.
Hey.
Love it or lose it.
You don't hear that? Love it or lose it.
I do hear
love
it
or lose it.
I don't know what that is.
Or lose it.
I don't know what that
or
is.
lose it. Love it.
Okay.
Or lose it. Okay. I just want to make sure that I wasn't crazy.
No, you're not crazy.
Okay. All right.
I haven't figured out what it is. Well, we gotta figure it out as we go, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, so Love It or Lose It is our locations. I guess neighborhoods.
Okay.
What neighborhood?
Do you want to explain to the people what Love It or Lose It
Oh, yes. Love It or Lose It. We usually have 4 choices. And out of those 4 choices, you have to choose one that you will love, hold on to,
forever,
never let go.
Before I let go.
And one you will lose, throw away with everything. You have to choose one to lose. Out of those 4, you have to choose one to love.
Just throw it in the trash.
All right? And these are the kind of neighborhoods that you would live in.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
All right? Because I think all of them have good benefits, a lot of pros and a lot of cons for each kind.
Okay.
All right?
I'm very curious. We never know what the other person is going to choose, so it's always a surprise when we do the Love It or Lose It. Okay.
So
I'm ready, I guess.
The 4 kinds of neighborhoods. First is you have your suburban neighborhood. This includes complexes like where Tahira lives.
Okay.
Like that, which houses, they have yards, they're close to each other. But they have lawns and everything. Some have fences, suburbs.
Okay.
That kind of area.
Okay.
Right? Number 1. Number 2, city. Living in the city. When I say city, I less Manhattan, more Brooklyn. Okay. In terms of how the houses are everything's very close together. And everything. Yeah, some have 3 levels and everything, but the places are nice, but it's levels.
So when you say this part of Brooklyn, you're talking what do you call that area? Park Slope.
Yeah.
Fort Greene. That kind of Brooklyn with the brownstones. The
brownstones. Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Or next we have. I'm going to call it country, but what I really mean is just houses spread apart from each other. There can be big houses, but the houses are spread apart from each other. It's it's not close to each other. The houses spread apart from each other.
Okay.
This happens a lot more maybe in far out east or far down south.
Okay.
Because some houses you have small houses, but they have a lot of land.
Okay.
So it's a lot more land than house.
Okay, more land than house. Okay.
A lot more land than house.
Okay.
The 4th option is more mountainous.
Mountainous.
Upstate where or like there's a lot of nice places that has a lot of good views and have the peaks and everything like that. But it's like houses are like on different levels and everything. Sometimes you have to walk up to their house from like mountains and everything. Like that's more of the way it is like that. So like when I was thinking about it, 'cause I was like, there's a lot of pros and cons for each one and everything. I like there's pros for like mountainous tends to have a lot of good views, a lot of good views and a lot of good places to go to for viewing and everything like that. And everything. It's a lot more. It's just more visual. Okay. Visually appealing. Usually.
Okay. Gotcha.
The one with a lot more land is just a lot more land to like do things if you're entering the farming, but also you just don't want to be next to anybody.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Usually suburbs is usually like more like typical when people think of Long Island, they think of that.
Gotcha.
Just suburbs, close in, like you have complexes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the city, it's more of you have a very nice thing inside and everything.
The outside is very generic or very
correct,
close together. Okay.
Correct.
Choices. Lose it.
Lose it.
I think my lose it is like the country.
Okay.
I don't particularly enjoy, like, I don't know if I've just watched too many movies where, people's houses is like far, far from stuff. Like Get Out, for example, like where those people lived was like behind God's back. Like you drove down some tiny, tiny road with 2 lanes. Then you turned off that road and wove down some winding lane to some house way in the back. It was beautiful, had a lot of land, but it was definitely giving me like a very country kind of vibe. No neighbors for miles. Anything can go down. I just don't like places like that. I think they're nice to look at, but I don't like the separation that much. It always makes me feel like if there was an emergency of some kind or something was going on, like how could I get out or how could someone get to me? It's just so far. Like I like the idea. I don't like the idea of necessarily having a neighbor like right here, but like I also like knowing that I'm not alone out there wherever. I don't enjoy that. Makes me a little nervous. So I don't particularly like it. Don't get me wrong. There's some beautiful properties though that I've seen like pictures of or I've seen in like shows and movies where it's like, oh my gosh, like they're just going down this winding road and it looks so beautiful and it's like so secluded and so. But I don't know. A part of me is always like, I couldn't live nowhere like that. Not in real life.
Word. Not real life.
No, I could maybe do like a like an overnight thing. Maybe like 2
You mean
nights.
like just like a?
I could do like a Ville Visitate, but not like to live there like as my full-time residence. Like I'm too scary. I don't like being, and like houses make noises and stuff like that. And I'm like, either there's a ghost here or I'm making it up. I don't know what's going on. I'm too far away. I don't know. It just seems very, very isolated. And I'm a little worried about that. So those country things are not for me.
Yeah. I'll be honest. My loser is the same also, but like it's for a couple reasons. Okay. I think that I'm not very big on just having like open space in nature. And like
and
I don't
enjoy open space in nature, just not like I need people. I need more people.
Well, yeah, and that's my point again. Because like a lot of times when people think of like poets and like artists, they think they get a lot of people think get inspiration from nature.
Some people do.
No, people do. I do not.
Okay.
I think my inspiration comes from being around people. I like being around others. And I think that's a lot of my inspiration comes from. So like. It's not the same thing as like I always see that like people like, oh, I'm gonna go out to nature and walk around and just like get inspiration from like the flowers and just, I'm like I don't get inspiration that way at all.
So what you're saying is you're not Nathaniel Hawthorne. That's not you. Okay, all right.
My inspiration is better served around people.
Okay.
And seeing what's going on.
Okay.
I like being around people. I don't like. I'm an introvert, so I don't want to be like. In the mix, right. But I don't want to be out in nature either.
Right. Yeah, and see, I
want people to be in distance. If I want to go see them, but if I don't want to, I want to be in my own. But I want to be able to.
Right. Yeah. Like I just feel, I feel like the like for example, like Greenleaf, the show, like where they live is kind of like one of them country type spots. It's like or where not where they live, like they're real people, but like where the where the house is.
Yeah.
It's like a beautiful house and it has like a lake and it has all this stuff, but I'm just like, this is just way too isolated.
Word.
Like it's a lot of them that live in the house, but still I'm like, this is way too isolated from like the world to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. And I don't know if I think also because we have a small child, I'm just like, so many opportunities for her to like get into stuff and not be able to really keep up because it's just so much open space and just.
And the funny thing is, I've never been that way. Even like growing up,
mm-hmm.
when I thought about like I'm gonna get a big house, it was never like out in open space.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't like it.
Yeah,
it's always been like still around others.
Yeah,
it's never been like I got a big mansion with mad floors, isolated in the. No, I've never had that dream.
Right.
That's never been what I wanted to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what is your love it?
My love it. You said the other one was mountainous.
Suburbs.
I might have to work backwards on this one. We currently live in the suburbs.
Correct.
It doesn't thrill me.
No.
I don't like it at all. And I just realized I didn't like it like a couple months ago. Like I've been doing it for a long time now. And so it's just something that I kind of got used to. But I'm like, I don't actually like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong. There are some advantages to it, in terms of I do like the opportunity for quiet when I need it. And I do like the fact that you have neighbors, but you don't feel like people are on top of you. But like, I hate it. Because I just feel like I guess I just like a more fast-paced kind of lifestyle, and I feel like the suburbs is definitely slower. I guess what was the other options? Mountainous and city.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I love a view. I do, truly.
Yeah.
I love a view.
Yeah.
If I could get a view, but like the city at the same time, if we can make them happen together.
You have a view of the bridge.
Not the bridge.
You have a view of the bridge.
I could maybe get like some water. I think, though, at this juncture in my life, my love it would be the city just because I feel like I enjoy like the access that the city has. Like, I'm not necessarily 100% thrilled about apartment living necessarily because I think I've gotten used to like space, I guess.
Okay.
And not having like a neighbor like on either side of the wall and above me and below me potentially. But at the same time, I'm like, there's something about that and the opportunity to actually like build community with people that exists because you keep seeing the same people in the hallway or, in the building or in the elevator or whatever. So you get to know people a little bit more. I feel like with the suburbs and even like kind of like more mountainous kind of views, it's easy to be isolated. And not to say that you can't isolate yourself in like a brownstone kind of environment like Mark described, but I think that it's kind of harder to do that when you're living in such close quarters with people. So I think my love it would be the city, followed by a close 1B of mountainous, because I do enjoy a mountain. I do enjoy like views, looking at, it could be water, it could be, hills and valleys, grass and whatnot. But I don't know. I think maybe when like I'm a little older and I want to look for a spot like that's, spacious and whatnot, I may want to do something that's mountainous or has some type of view of something nice. Like, where I don't know if I would ever live in California, but like but like those houses they have out there that have like the view of the Hollywood Hills and stuff like that, like it's gorgeous. Like I would love that. That would be like amazing. But again, I'm just like, some of those houses are really spaced far apart. And you kind of got to like go down the hill to get out, but the views are amazing. But yeah, I think for me, the city, like I love the idea of like, living in a cool little brownstone and, going in and out and doing all that. So yeah, I think the city would be my love it.
I think my love it is the city for a different reason. My love it is the city, and I mentioned this kind of before to you. I like the facet of. I like this concept of living a luxurious lifestyle, but no one knows it. I'm very big. I like having this. The feel.
You have told me this.
Yes, I like this feeling of being in a nice place, very nice inside, but you can't tell from the outside. Mm. And the city, I think, is filled with that.
Yeah,
it's filled with a lot of places that you would never know is nice inside because they look like every other building.
Yeah,
and I think that's the reason why I like cities. I like cities because of how that is, because it's the city and outside some parts might look grungy or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. People don't know that the inside is so fly.
Yeah, like a lot of celebrities live in these like brownstones in Brooklyn, and when you walk past them, they just look like every other brownstone on the street. Especially if you're down there by like by BAM, in that area. Like you just walking by and you're like, oh, you're just seeing all these brownstones, and it just looks very generic from the outside. But then when you get inside and you see like, or not when you get inside, not you going in there, you don't know these people. But like when you see, like I just saw somebody sold their brownstone, like some singer. I want to say. What's that lady's name? Sarah Bareilles, or one of them Caucasian girl singers. Listen, Nora Jones, one of them girls. They sold their brownstone, and they showed what it looked like on the inside, and it was so nice in there. Like the paint and the furnishings and everything, it was so nice in there. But you would never know it from like walking by on the street. Like it just looks like a regular like brownstone building with, a door. Like,
Word.
It's very nondescript. So I understand what you mean when you say you want something that's like
I enjoy that concept. 'Cause I mentioned it to you before. Like even if I was living in the suburbs, mm-hmm. I want it's like I don't know if it's gonna work out because I'm just worried about safety in terms of it. But there's a way to do it. Mm-hmm. I remember thinking about this in middle school. In middle school, my ideal place, because I was always worried about people knowing if I had money or not, will be a 1-story house that it looks like a 1-story house outside. Mm-hmm. But when you go inside, it goes 3 floors down into a big palatial downstairs area. That was like the ideal.
Those were your goals and aspirations.
So outside, people are like this. Oh, it's like a 1-story house. They ain't got nothing in there. But when you go inside and go downstairs, it's like an elevator and goes down and just like this big palatial area downstairs that people have never known that was down there. That was like my ideal in middle school because like I was always like, I want to have nice things, but I want nobody else to know I have nice things. Okay.
Which is you don't want to stun on them? You don't want to flex?
Nope, I have zero desire. So which is why I know that me and celebrity doesn't work out. It doesn't work. Because I'm always about having things, but no one else knows I have things.
That's fine. Like,
I'm always about that.
I have things.
That's always what it was. Yeah, it was good. Like I think mountainous is cool. I'm just always worried about someone falling.
Yeah.
For mountains is cool. I'm always worried about someone falling.
I think I'm always worried too when it comes to mountain and stuff about like
rocks falling.
Rocks falling.
What is that? Oh, okay.
I'm trying to read. I can't read what it says. It's too far away. I was really trying hard, but I can't. I'm always, what I'm always worried about too, like landslides.
Yeah.
Or like mudslide. Look, I've seen it. I'm like, I just don't want my house just sliding off into the abyss or the back of my house just sliding away. I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Not rocking?
No, definitely not. Not rocking at all. I don't enjoy that. That doesn't thrill me as a concept. Like it would have to really be. What's that show that we watched before? Oh my gosh, on Netflix with the British lady and the guy, and like they show you all these like amazing houses. Like it would have to be something that's really like well engineered, like what they showed us, because yeah. She said what?
The shirt is cute.
Oh, thank you, boo.
Sorry, I was checking to see what the message says.
Yeah, I couldn't read. I was like, what does that say?
You said your shirt is cute.
Okay, thanks, boo. Hey, girl, hey. I could not read that for the life of me. I was like,
where are your glasses?
Not here. Why did I pay all that money for them glasses and never wear them? Yo, sidebar. I spent a bunch of money last year on these really, really jazzy glasses. They have transition lenses. They're great glasses. Part of the reason I need to wear them is because I forget what it is, but I basically have some kind of like sun damage basically from, having my eyes just out there in the sun. And so I'm supposed to be wearing them so I don't squint all the time or whatever. Every time the sun be out bright and this be me.
Squinting.
The whole time. I'm like, why did I pay $700 for the glasses to be squinting all the time? It doesn't make any sense.
Squinting.
Wasting my own time. But anyway, yeah, I probably need them so I can read too because my sight isn't what it once was.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I like those mountainous houses. And I've seen, I don't know what show it is on Netflix. Oh my gosh, I wish I could remember it. Let me see if I can find out. But yeah, it was this show showing like, all these like unique houses where people have built like on the side of mountains. And, they made it out of like real fancy materials and stuff like that.
Those are good though.
But like, I still like stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the thing with mountains even is still the
falling and landslides and landslides
and the isolation. Because I'm like you can't really be having like a neighbor that's like right here.
No,
with nothing like that. You need the space because the way the land is set up, it's not stable. So yeah, it's called The World's Most Extraordinary Homes. That's the name of the show.
That show is good.
Yeah, it's a British documentary
on Netflix, by the way.
On Netflix, it's really, really good. It's really fascinating to see the types of stuff that people build. It's so cool. But a lot of times those houses are on like the side of a mountain somewhere, and you see all the reinforcements that they put in to make sure that the house like stays solid or whatever. But I'm still like, I don't trust it.
You're like, nah, son.
I don't trust it.
Okay.
And not trust. Yes, I don't trust it. Yeah.
All right. So that was our Love It or Lose It segment.
Yes, it was.
Thank you, everybody who's been watching us online.
Yes, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
You have to listen to the rest
on Tuesday? On
Tuesday.
Yes.
With the Spotify. Press finish.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to say bye-bye.
Bye.
So long, bye-bye. So long, bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye to our viewers today.
Viewers.
So long, bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Deuces. All right. Well, back into this. So we're going to go right into our topic once again. Speaking of, remember, that's press share. All right. But yeah, like remember that what was I saying?
I don't know what you were saying.
Oh, hashtag my love is fearless. Get into that. It's very important to we trying to push this movement. My love is fearless. My passion is fearless. Was going in.
Word.
And this topic we have today is what is the full name of it? It's called the Fearless Series.
Yes, the Fearless Series. Fearless in career progression. That's what we're
Fearless in career progression. You want to intro it?
Oh, sorry. Yes. So, I'm sorry. My nail is like cracking in the corner and it's bothering me. It's been annoying me, and I don't have a nail clipper. So basically, what kind of inspired this topic? So where I work, I supervise about 12 individuals. And we had a meeting last week, and I gave them the opportunity to like ask me anything they wanted to ask me. Because it's a newly formed team. There have been some transitions in the last couple of months, years, whatever. And so I just wanted to, give people the opportunity to ask me questions, to kind of get to know me a little bit better, and to kind of start building that relationship and having them feel more comfortable with me. And one of the people that I supervised said to me or asked me, how did you? Because they kind of asked me what made me transition from my previous role to what I'm doing now. And I kind of said, it was time for a change, whatever. I had kind of lost the passion or the love for what I was doing. Like, it was cool, but it wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. And so one of the girls asked me, she said, what did you do to like regain your passion for it? And I was like, I left. I left. I just didn't want to do it anymore. And so it kind of made me, and her reaction to me saying it was sort of like, it was like slight disappointment. Like, and I didn't mean to, I was just being honest in the moment. But I think I think she wanted me to kind of say something like, I tried this, I tried that. I was like, nah, I just dipped. Which is the short answer, because I did try like other stuff and I did say that, but ultimately I made the decision to be out. And so it made me think about, how so many of us millennials kind of approach career progression. Like, there are some of us who are very much on the, I don't care, I'm gonna leave, I'm out. But then I think because of our generation kind of being like sandwiched between, who's it before us? Gen X, and our millennial generation, like Gen Z, depending on when you were born, like you still kind of have some of that old school mentality of, staying someplace for a long time and, trying to stick it out and da-da-da-da-da. So I kind of wanted to talk about that today and kind of just see where the conversation goes, because I don't actually have a plan of how the conversation's gonna go.
Yeah, like it kind of plays into our topic, because we are sometimes scared to like move into like what we enjoy doing, or if we thought we enjoyed doing something and then we don't anymore, we are scared to leave that because we feel like we committed ourselves to doing something.
Right.
And I realized that millennials have this hard time because we are in that sandwich place. Because even if we are in a mode of let's leave and move on, because a lot of us have parents who are baby boomers or
who have worked the same job for 25, 30, 35 years.
They're kind of in our ear.
Right.
Whether literally or just through previous conversations saying like, hey, why are you leaving so early?
Right.
And everything, and make you like rethink how you leave and just moving on to something different. And like
I've never been at a job for more than 5 years. Like, I think this March is probably going to be 5 years that I've been at my institution, but this is the second job I've been at in that 5 years. Like, I haven't been in the same role all 5 years.
Correct. But it comes with progression. And like, I was having the conversation because I was trying to analyze also why was because I've worked for EOC for 8 years, but it's not that I was working at EOC in the same position for 8 years. I've moved around a lot.
Yeah, you've had about 37 jobs.
Yeah, I've moved around a lot. So I think because there was constant like progression and different roles and things like that is the reason why I stayed for so long, which I also understand that a lot of companies don't have the luxury of doing that with people. Right. Because it's like a private institution and the way it was moving, or they would move that way. But I understand also, like I said, that's not a common thing for people to just be able to move around. Because usually that's the reason why people only stay for 3 years. Because after 3 years, it's hard to move up in a company a lot of times. Yeah. Because like people in your same company, a lot of times they're looking at who you are and not who you can be. A lot of times, so it's hard
that's
to.
A word.
Yeah, so like they're looking at who you are and who you can be. So it's hard to progress the way you want to.
Right.
So for instance, if you are in the same position in the same company and you want to move up, a lot of times you can move one step up. But if you go somewhere else, you can move a couple steps up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we all have jobs. A lot of times we do a lot more than what's in our job description. But
other duties is assigned. That's how they get you.
Correct. But like because of that, the company that you work for will only assume like, oh, you're doing a little more, you get a little more paycheck. Right. But you bring those skills to somewhere else, they're like, oh, you're doing all this. Let me give you a lot more money because I see you doing all these things. Right. That we don't have. We don't usually have people do all these things. Yeah. So that's the reason why it makes sense. So it's like it's not even like a crazy science to it. It's just how jobs translate, because not because administrative assistant one place is different from somewhere else. Right. It's just different. Yeah. One you might just be doing answering phone calls, making copies, and filing. Another person might be training, might be doing a lot of different other, might be teaching classes. Like it's just different things based off of what position you are. Right. So just to double back to what you're saying is, but I think that we should always be pushing forward to what our love is and what our passion is, and trying to fight for that fearlessly, and not being so scared, of leaving that place, because like it's easy to get fear because we're like, all right, am I gonna be qualified for this next position? Am I really qualified for this and everything? And I understand that feeling, because like that's happened to me twice at EOC, where I would get a position and I would be like, I'm not even sure I can do this position. I'm not even sure if this position is going to work out for me, because like I haven't done it before, and like so like now I have to figure it out, learn, and I've always been good at learning everything. It's just that getting over that hump of learning everything and trying to feel comfortable with it, to then feel like, okay, I got this. It's just a little nerve-wracking sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. To go back to what you said about like moving up and how challenging that can be, I work for a public entity with the city of New York. That is a job where once people get in there, they never leave. It is a lifer type of agency. And so you've got people that have been in the same position, like as a director or whatever the case may be, for like 20 years. And they're not going anywhere until it's time to retire. So you find yourself in a position where you're trying to gain all these skills, you're doing all this professional development, you're getting all these certifications, blah, 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 blah. But there's no room to grow if you want to stay in that place and go from maybe like a regular like junior level employee to like an associate director or assistant director or something like that. The opportunities don't really exist in the same way because people stay there for a long time. And don't get me wrong, like in the agency I work in, it's a really great setup. Great benefits, great pay for the most part. Like there's a lot of advantages to being a part of it. It's just, as a millennial, I feel like it's very frustrating if you're trying to progress, because a lot of the people that you find working there have been working there since like 1975, no joke, and they're not going anywhere until they retire. So it's like, if you really like a place but you want to move up, you kind of find yourself in a position where it's like, do I stay here kind of at this level and hope that something opens up, or do I try to explore my options outside of here and see what else I can possibly experience? And that's a hard decision to kind of make, because I think after a certain point in time, you get really comfortable with what you know and what you feel like at home with, and you kind of are married to the position or to the work in some way. And so you're like, you have all these ideas about how you can progress and how you can like make things better and how you can, bring your creativity and whatever it is to what you're doing. But the opportunity just doesn't exist because the openings aren't there. So then I feel like that's what leads to people feeling like stifled and feeling like, what do I do? Yeah. How do I do this? How do I make the change? How do I say, you know what? I see the potential that could be here, but I also feel like my passion is greater than whatever it is I'm hoping to see happen here. How can I open my mind to making my passion come alive someplace else?
Yeah. I honestly, I think that sometimes, like especially nowadays, we have to start getting out of the mindset of looking for a destination in terms of positions, and instead of every position is just another stepping stone to something different. Because like when you're looking for destination, that's when it becomes a concern.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I guess let's rephrase that. Lay out your destination and don't fight till you get there. Let's say that.
And don't fight till you get there.
I said don't stop fighting till you get there.
Okay.
I'll say it that way.
Okay.
Because the reason I say that, because like we'll say like our goal is to do this, but like a lot of steps behind that, you're like, all right, here, like, all right, but this job is cool, so I'll just be here.
Right. Right.
And you won't like transition because you're like, all right, I know, but like I'm cool here. I think I think I have what I need here. I'm good. I don't have to transition too much. I don't gotta do too much. All that extra stuff is too much.
Right.
And everything. But the the concern is a lot of times sometimes we fall into having regrets and everything later on, and you don't want to live with those regrets of like not trying to move forward with something.
Right. Because I'm just like, there's so many people I know who are like, have been sort of like when I first started, and they're sort of doing the same thing we were doing from back then. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, I don't have a problem with somebody being like, this is what makes me happy. This is what I want to do. I don't have a problem with that. If that's where you're at, that's cool. But I feel like there's some people I know who I'm just like, I don't really know.
And they're complaining all the time.
Yeah, and they're complaining all the time. Yeah. I'm like, but what are you doing to change the situation? Like, what things are you doing to like make yourself more marketable? Like, who are you connecting with? Like, what are you?
It's like being in a
what are you doing?
It's like being in a bad relationship.
Yeah.
It's like being in a bad relationship.
And sometimes being in some of these jobs is being in a bad relationship.
Yeah, because you feel like, all right, I'm like you're being abused.
Right, literally.
You're being abused by the job and everything like that, but you're like, oh, I gotta stay. Like you feel like you never have to stay.
No, you don't. You never have to stay.
But
like,
but you also like not
like be reasonable. Like make sure you got a plan to pay your bills or whatever.
But you're not like putting forth any steps to move forward. Because I've seen that too. I've seen that at my job where like someone is frustrated with working there, but they're not putting forth the steps.
Right. Like I get it.
To move forward. I get it. I'm not saying just be like, all right, I'm out, deuces.
Right. Like have a plan.
Bills. But I'm saying is what steps are you putting forward to move? To move forward. To move out of there or move forward, move somewhere.
Right.
From where you are. Don't not be happy.
Like it's one thing to like be like complaining, but like also putting your application out there and going on interviews, and then to be complaining and just sitting there. You're not doing anything to improve yourself professionally. You're not updating your resume. You're not applying to other jobs. You're just complaining about being there. It's like, okay, well, that's cool, but now what? What's next? Like, what's holding you back from like taking the leap? Like, I don't know if it's, fear of rejection, which is real. Because I feel like
relationships.
Yeah, like relationships. You're like, I don't want to put myself out there because if I put myself out there and they reject me, then, that means that I went the wrong way. I went the wrong way. Maybe I need to stay where I'm at. And then you start second guessing yourself. And it's like, no. Moving forward in your career is basically like moving forward, like you said, like in a dating relationship. It's like, okay, it's time for me to do something new. It's time for me to take the next step. Let's talk about what that looks like. Let's figure out what that entails and what will get me there. And then let me try to work on that. If I meet a setback, okay, maybe that means that just like how when you go out with somebody, you think it's going to go one way, you think it's going to work out, something happens and it doesn't. You chalk it up to the game. It just didn't work out.
It's an experience.
It's an experience. Right. That's it. That's it. It doesn't have to be a whole like.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not scary. I'm not saying that.
No, not minimizing that at all. No, but it's not like a whole like attack on your character if you tried something and it didn't work out.
Correct.
Like it just didn't work out. It just wasn't for you. It just wasn't the right time. There's a reason for it. It's not just, oh, you suck. That's why this thing didn't work out. But I think that we have to start being more intentional about being forward thinking, especially in 2020, about our careers as people in our generation, because we're not getting younger.
Nope.
We're getting older. A lot of us are barreling towards 40, and it's the older I get, even though I'm not like that old, but the older I get, the more I realize that what am I wasting my time doing something I don't like for? Like I don't have time. Like time is not on my side. I have more years behind me than ahead of me at this point. So what am I wasting my time for? Why am I continuing to spend my time in a place that makes me unhappy? And I don't mean just like, oh, I'm a little bored with this job. I mean like legit, you don't like going to work. You wake up every day and you have to like pep talk yourself into going there. You go there and you're dealing with some type of discomfort or like abusive situation, like Mark said, whether it's like with another colleague or with your supervisor. Like life is too short to be doing all of that. It just is. And, I don't get me wrong. I understand that people got bills. Some jobs are really the salary is really great. There's good benefits, whatever. But like, I also feel as if you shouldn't allow those things to kind of hold you in a pattern of being afraid to do something else. I've always heard this saying, or I've seen this visual where it's like you're holding on to this. It's like you and a picture of Jesus, it's white Jesus, but we're just going to move past the depiction. It annoys me, but we're going to move past it for the purposes of this conversation. So you're holding this little teddy bear and you're holding on to it really, really tight. Meanwhile, white Jesus is holding like a really, really big teddy bear behind his back, and he's trying to get you to give him that small one so he can give you the big one, but you're holding on to it so tight. And I feel like that's kind of how some of us like deal with our careers. Like, we're holding on to this one little thing because we're sure of it. We know what it is. We can see it. But it's like there's something better that's out there. There's something better than what you're doing right now if you really, really, really don't enjoy it. Like, I don't believe that Jesus died on the cross for you to be in a really unhealthy, uncomfortable, non-productive work situation where you're not progressing and you literally hate it. And I feel like in my situation, going back to like when the young lady asked me that question, like I told her, I said I had known for about 2 years that I was done with this.
Correct.
I had known for a long time. It was clear. It just took me a while to figure out what I wanted to actually do, because I think my problem was I didn't know where I wanted to go after that. I didn't know if I wanted to change industries entirely. I didn't know what I wanted. And so I think that was part of my holdup of going. It was like, okay, well, I know what this is. I know how this works. I may not like it very much, but like, I kind of know how this goes. I can do this in my sleep. And I think that's another area where we get hung up too. It's like, I want to do something different, but I'm afraid of the challenge of doing something different. And once I came to terms with the fact that I really didn't want to do this anymore, I just started putting motions in action to skedaddle on out of there. And like the young lady, I know she's trying to go into another career. So I'm just like, and when I have a one-on-one conversation with her, I want to talk to her about it a little more, because I'm like, I know this isn't what you want to do. I know that you want to go into XYZ career. Like, what steps are you taking to get there? Because I understand that you got bills and, like I said, where I work, it's kind of one of those like, oh, you work there? How you get in there? Everybody's trying to get in there. So I know there's that comfort level there of doing that. But I'm just like, if this isn't what you want to do, don't do it. No, don't. Just figure out how to get to what it is you want to do, because you're doing a disservice to yourself and to the people around you if you're not really committed to or want to do the work that you're doing. Because when you're really at that point where you don't want to do this anymore, it shows. Like, the people around you know, oh, she's done with this. She's over it. Like, it's obvious. Even if the quality of your work doesn't necessarily slip, like, there's a difference in how you do your work when you really want to do it and when you have to do it.
Yeah. Like, being fearless of change is like a big thing that we have. Being fearless of what's going to happen next is a big thing. And like, we have to be very, I understand the comfort level, because we've all, if we've been at a job for a while, we get to that comfort level. It's like, I can do this in my sleep. I can do this. And like, when you get there, you have to be mindful of what's going on and everything. Are you enjoying what you're doing and everything? Mm-hmm. And because sometimes when you're not being challenged at all, you lose joy in something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everything, when you feel like you're not being challenged, or there's no new challenges happening and everything. Because sometimes you can do it in your sleep, but new challenges happen and it kind of changes things. Oh, okay, new challenge, and you're excited about those new challenges. Mm-hmm. But when new challenges aren't happening, sometimes that can kind of halt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Halt your passion. And you kind of, so like, when you first started working there, you was very excited about helping people. Mm-hmm. So you're doing something. You're like, all right, I'm doing all this stuff for everybody. But like, now you're doing it in your sleep. You kind of like, someone comes in, you kind of like, I know what's going to happen. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And you're not really even caring about anybody. You kind of like, just like, all right, let's do this. Like, it takes away that passion of what you're doing. It takes away that passion of what you're doing. So maybe a change needs to happen even in that same industry just to reignite with passion. So
absolutely.
Sometimes that comes with like, this is harder, of course, in your instance when it comes to public,
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes in private, it comes to an instance where you create a position.
Mm-hmm.
You create a position, or you introduce something that you think should be changed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've been there for a while. You see things that need to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's time to start introducing new plans. Like,
Mm.
all right, maybe we could start, like, this is like a new thing that I'm trying to introduce, try to implement to like help make this change happen, to make things better, because I know this will be better for people who are helping, or the person or how this company runs, and you want to implement something. Now, when there's so much pushback, sometimes that might give you a reason to leave also. When there's pushback between that, is not receptive to that,
because if you've put your ideas, as Mark said, out there, and they're not being received, like LeBron said, take your talents to South Beach. Just be out. Like, what is the point of going back and forth? You've put something out there. You've tried to be engaged with the organization and engage with it in a way that is going to have a lasting impact. If it's not received, dip. Like, don't sit there and wallow and be like, okay, now you've seen what type of energy they have. You've seen that maybe they're not open to innovation. They're not open to change. Like, I just feel like there's no need to beat a dead horse, because at the end of the day, ultimately, the organization will go on with or without you.
Yes. No matter how much you think about it, businesses are businesses.
Right.
And regardless of what's going on, if you leave, they'll find somebody else.
Right.
That's how businesses are supposed to run.
Yes.
They have to run the world. They'll find somebody else. So
right.
That's why I used to laugh at you when you used to be like, I don't want to I don't want to just leave because I'm worried about what's going to happen. I'm like, they'll figure it out.
I mean, I get it. It was more
about
like my students than the actual like organization.
I know. But like, it's funny because like I think sometimes with the students I get that, but like sometimes we get so caught up like this. Oh, but what if the business? How are they gonna figure it out? What I'm like, they will. They always will. They always do.
Yeah. Like, I think as
even if they might be off worse, they'll be fine. They'll figure it out.
I think and
it's not your fault.
As a millennial, it's important to us that we feel like the company we work for, the agency we work for, is doing something that's important to us and is compelling us to stick around. And I think that's what holds us to a lot of places a lot of times. But also, you have to recognize that this thing was running before you got here. It will run after you leave. Not to say that you're not to say that you're replaceable, but like you kind of are. So, you can't like hold yourself hostage to somebody or to an organization who when push comes to shove will just hire somebody else to do your job.
Correct.
Like, point blank, period. Like, people got things to do.
Yeah.
The show must go on.
Even if you see like, oh, they might not do it as well as me.
That ain't got nothing to do with you.
It doesn't.
That ain't your problem.
Unless you have a strong investment in that company.
Yeah.
Then it's time.
Then you be out.
Yeah.
Be out.
Like if you invested a lot of money into the company and you have a percentage,
mm-hmm.
you have like a bunch of stock in there, then I guess you have a vested interest in it,
right.
in it doing well.
Right.
Yes.
But other than that, be out.
Yeah.
Because I think too that, I've heard this before and it's like it's resonating with me more and more. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but sort of like the general idea is when you're working, you want to do work as if you're working for God, even if where you're working has nothing to do with Correct. Your faith, your whatever. And it's like, if I'm someplace where I'm like, nah, like, am I really giving my best?
Yeah.
If that's my attitude, like, if I'm supposed to be working for God, I'm supposed to be trying to give God my best, and it's not my best. So maybe I need to think about doing something else, really, really examining how I can do something or be somewhere where I'm doing my best. And I'm not saying, again, everybody needs to go out and open their own business and be an entrepreneur and whatever.
Please do not do that.
That's not for everybody.
Please do not do that.
That's not for everybody. I am not shaming the 9-to-5er. You hear me?
Please do not just open your business.
If that's your calling in life, 9 to 5 it.
Yes.
But I also think there is something to be said for providing a quality product of work. And if your relationship with where you work prevents you from giving that high quality of work, you really need to be like, okay, what am I doing? Like, this is not it. This is me operating beneath my God-given potential. How do I find something that gets me to operating at that peak level? Like,
yeah,
how do I move from this place to that place? Because I mean, and like I said, I think the issue sometimes is we be feeling like, oh, I gotta leave if there's like a big problem or something dramatic goes down. It could, and it really doesn't have to be all that. Like your own instinct, conscience, voice of reason, whatever you want to call it, that's powerful.
Word.
And that can really speak to you and guide you. And honestly, I'll say for myself, the moments that I haven't listened to it, I've brought more like angst upon myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just like, well, maybe, no, like, listen to that voice. Because when it's telling you, girl.
It be telling you stuff.
Or dude, this is a dub.
Not dude.
Because I'm a girl, so I say girl, but your voice don't say girl. So, you know, just trying to be inclusive.
Doesn't say dude either.
Sir. I don't know. I'm not a man. I don't know what it says. They, I don't know. I don't know what it says.
Ayo son.
Ayo son. Okay.
Ayo son.
All right. Ayo son. Whatever. Girl, ayo son. Like when I think our generation, when we hear that, we need to just kind of go and make a move with it, because the longer you sit there, like it's almost like the longer you sit there, the more opportunities and the more space you have to make excuses about why you can't or shouldn't do something. And next thing you know, you've been sitting there for 3, 4, 5 years making excuses about the same thing.
Word.
And you're still not happy. You're still not fulfilled. And not to say that, you know, your job is like the be all and end all of your happiness and whatever the case is. But if you're spending, you know, $400+ to go back and forth to work every day for a year, and you're there 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day, it would be nice if you actually enjoyed the work, some aspect of it. But if you literally hate everything about it, like that seems like an enormous amount of money and time to be wasting for something that you just would rather not do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I think the job before this one, when I was at QCC, I had gotten to the point where I had told Mark, listen, I'm ready to resign. We might just have to live off your income for a couple of months, but I don't want to go back there anymore.
You should never get to that point.
I was looking for jobs, but I was at the point where I was like, I don't want to go to work here anymore. Like I used to call out sick all the time. Not like, I don't want to say all the time, but like I would call out sick like at least once a month just because I could not get myself to get out of bed and go there. I was like, no, I'm not doing it today. I don't want to. Bye. I don't want to. I just don't. And I was like, when I'm doing that, that's when I know it is time to go. When I got to the point where I was like, I don't even care if I have another job. I just can't come here anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's a dub.
You don't want to get to that feeling.
No. And I'm just like that. So I've through that experience and with the other job after it, I've kind of learned to listen to myself and like, okay, when I get there, all right, well, that's enough of that. I'll give it maybe another 6 months to see if it was just like a passing phase. If I still feel that way after 6 months, I'm out. Like, because I have moments. I'm moody. You know, things happen. I'll be in my feelings and then I get out of them. But I think you know yourself and yourself knows you. And when it's time to go, it's just time to go. Like I said before, the longer you prolong it, the more angst and conflict and stuff you bring upon yourself. And it really ultimately isn't worth it. And when you do finally leave, you look back like, why did I sit up there for all that time doing that? I could have been living my best life from like a year ago. But I was over here being scared. And ultimately, I think I just want to tell my generation, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's plenty of opportunities out there. Like, take the risk. Jump. Take the leap. Like, just have faith in God and have faith in yourself that ultimately it's going to work out. Just, like I said, be realistic. Be cognizant. Have a plan. Don't just jump out the window crazy, but, like, life is too short to just be wasting your time. We're going to be working until we like 75. You might as well have some fun and enjoy it while you're there.
Yeah. So like with this so when we say like be fearless, like I said, it is not an easy thing to do.
Not at all.
But it's something that you might have to tell yourself, especially when you're in the place where like you're like, all right, should I look for a job? I don't know. Tell yourself, be fearless. Be fearless.
Yeah, and like
just try to figure out, understand that your passion is important to you.
Absolutely.
You're like being happy on Monday morning is important.
Yes.
To you.
Yes.
All that stuff is important to you. So let that let your love be fearless. Let like move forward with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I like to tell people all the time, like, start building a community around you to help build that fearlessness up. Get you a friend or something that or a cousin. Get you a friend, a cousin, a sibling, a family, somebody that can be an accountability person who can kind of come to you every couple of months. So what you doing? What's up? Have you gone to any conferences? Have you done any professional development? What's your resume look like? Let me see it. Get involved with like professional organizations for like if you're trying to change industries. Try to see if you can get involved with professional organizations in the industry you want to switch into, or maybe if you want to stay in the same one, try to get into professional organizations with those. Try to, if you want to stay at the same company and move up, try to get on committees so that you can meet other people and find out about other opportunities. Like, try to find ways to position yourself to be where you want to go. The Googles are out here. The information is out there. It's just a matter of tapping into it and building that support network for yourself, because I feel like it's easier to go with other people and to what's the word I'm looking for? It's easier to go forward when you know that you've got someone holding your hand, someone, holding you up on the back, holding you up on the side, on the front. It's easier to go ahead when you know that that's there, as opposed to when you're just like over in your corner by yourself. Nobody knows what's going on. You don't have any support. It's hard to feel like I can make that jump when there's nobody there. When you have people there, it's easier. Like when I was ready to make a jump, I had people there. Mm-hmm. I had Mark. I had Dalton, who's like my professional guru. That man be knowing things when it comes to how to move professionally. Like, he be knowing. I had my sister. I had like so many other people like I could kind of reach out to. I had like the person who's my current boss now. Like, just people who were around me that were like encouraging me to like go forward and do other things. Like, so it made it a lot easier, because I'll be the first to admit I'm scary boots. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I overthink things to death. And, I think if it weren't for the people in my corner, I probably would not make certain moves just because I've overthought it to death. So I think that's also really important too, is to be open to, sharing what you want to do and sharing that vulnerability so that like other people around you can kind of build you up and help you fearlessly move forward to the next level. Mm-hmm.
Fearless.
Word.
Yeah.
Dooba-dooba-doo. Bottom line is 2020. Quit that job if you ain't trying to work over there no more.
Get out of here, son.
Just get out of there. Just do better. Word. All right. That's all on our topic for today. If y'all have any comments, thoughts, post it on our socials. All Love No Fear Facebook page, on our Instagram, All Love No Fear podcast, on Twitter. I think we're All Love No Fear P1.
Yeah.
What else we got?
All Love No Fear PCast at gmail.com.
Yes, All Love No Fear PCast at gmail.com. Yeah, just let us know what your thoughts are. We are ready to receive them.
We are available.
Yes. Now this, child.
We ready?
That whole time. Yes. Hold on. Let me pause it.
We haven't been talking about what it. Are we calling it This Week in Random still? I've been calling it that, but I'm not sure if it's really still that.
We can call it that. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Moving on to our artist spotlight. Okay.
Artist spotlight. Artist spotlight.
Are you done? Are you finished?
I'm finished.
Great.
I'm complete.
Okay. I never expect these serenades. I'm never ready. I'm always like, he's gonna do it one time, and then he doesn't.
I will not.
Okay, that's fine.
You can't hold artistry.
Okay, so Artist Spotlight this week. I don't know if we've talked about her before. I don't know if she's been an Artist Spotlight before. I don't remember.
Which one are you doing?
Fantasia.
I don't think you did Fantasia.
Yes.
I was saying it might have been the other one. But.
Okay. So Fantasia Barrino, winner of season 3 of American Idol, the last season I watched, is our Artist Spotlight for this week.
It's an Artist Spotlight.
Mark actually brought her to my remembrance with her fantastical singing this week with Kirk Franklin likes to do these like mic toss things where he just like pulls people together and makes them sing his songs, and he like whispers the words in their ear. And Fantasia like slayed.
You want to play that one?
No. Oh. No. Or should I play that one?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Anyway, Fantasia she slays. I know some people feel like she screams too much and she yells too much, and I'm like, oh, whatever. You just, I feel like if you're into like Southern gospel music, then Fantasia is right up your alley. Like, she gives you gospel with the R&Bs, but yeah, she's amazeballs. Yeah. I think she's an amazing singer. I've seen like videos of her performing for Pat. She's our generation's Patti LaBelle.
Yeah.
And I saw like where she did a tribute for Patti LaBelle, and Patti LaBelle was getting her whole life. Patti LaBelle was doing this thing. Like if you've ever seen Patti at a concert or at an event where she's being honored and people are singing this, when Patti's feeling it, this is that's Patti. And whenever Fantasia comes and does her thing, that's what Patti's into. I just think she's phenomenal.
I do want to point out that we have audio podcasts. They have no idea what you're doing.
What?
They have no idea what you're doing. But people who are listening.
Oh, this isn't the camera?
That is a camera, but not everybody listens to the camera. So.
Okay, so I'm shaking. When you watch the video, you'll see I'm shaking my hands like in a circle. I don't know how to explain it. I was like, what are you talking about?
I was like, people listen like, oh, okay.
Whatever. Go Google Patti LaBelle excited or something. You'll figure it out. Ask me for some of the explanations here. But yes, so this audio I'm about to play is Fantasia singing. This is back in 2013 when she's singing her song Lose to Win on American Idol. Like, oh God, she gets me. I love this song. And the way she sings it live is just, gives me life. She's one of my people on my I want to see in person list. I feel like every time she comes to town, like I'm never able to go. Mm-hmm. Like it's always some type of conflict. And I'm just like, ugh. But like definitely the next time she comes to town, I want to see her because I think she's
Ladies and gentlemen, with her new song, Lose to Win, this is Fantasia.
Go Tasia!
Go Tasia! Go Tasia!
This is for the Hill family and tonight. Listen. Ever felt so ugly, pretending that he loves me? Sometimes it's just not funny. Never had to afford me. Now I'm sick and tired of you just taking right up, knowing I forgive you. You ain't here for dinner, like I'm up for dinner. I loved you for your inner, and the next guy is out there somewhere. Hey, but you won't dare, 'cause you're too scared. Hey, have you ever needed someone so bad, but he ain't willing to make it last? Sometimes you got the blues again. Hey, and if it makes you cry, 'cause all you do is fight. Can't get no sleep at night. Sometimes you got the win again. That's my favorite verse right here. Ever felt so sorry? All you did was worry. You didn't want nobody. Thought it would get better, but it's falling Sometimes you got to lose to win again.
That girl be singing. Do you hear me? Singing. Did you hear that run on that lose?
She was singing.
Hey, about Shondo. I can't.
The Shondo.
I can't. Like, Fantasia just takes me.
Not the Shondo.
Hey. She takes me. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? She takes me.
Yeah.
But you see that lip quiver? Oh, God. Fantasia's about to give you life. When you see that bottom lip quiver, whew.
I feel like she has church in every song, though.
Nah, like, she churches it up. It be straight, like, R&B, but she gives you church. She will give you church.
She would church it up every single time.
She's a church girl. She can't help herself. When she hit you with that hey, I said, all right. She's getting ready to take it there. I'm ready.
She would church up every song.
I'm present. I'm accounted for. I am ready. Like, just, you have to understand, when she hit that last run, like, you got to watch the video. The American Idol judges are like Nicki Minaj. This is the season Nicki Minaj went on. And Nicki Minaj was over there like, like, she's losing it. She's like, oh my, like, Fantasia comes and has church wherever she goes. I don't care what she's singing. She's singing the alphabet. She's singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider. She has church every time. I'm like, how church in your throat though? That's what I want to know.
She can help it.
Like, how's church right here? Like, all the time. Like, I don't understand. But like, I live.
At all times.
I live. She gives me everything I need. She's definitely on my must-see bucket list concerts before I piece about this earth. I have to see her. Like, it's a must. Have to. She's everything.
Fantasia.
Get into her. She's great. She's amazing. Love her. Like, I've been obsessed with her since American Idol, the season she was on. I was like, this chick is singing. If she didn't win that American Idol season, I would have been most upset. Because the other girl was competing against a No Shades of girl, but I was like, she's her and you're you. I don't see what the competition. I'm not sure how that girl made it to the end, to be honest. I'm like, Jennifer Hudson was on this season. How'd this girl make it to the end? Me is confused. But, this whatevs. Shouts to the good sis Fantasia. Love her.
Word.
Love her. On to This Week in Random.
This Week in Random. TWIR. No.
Twir.
Tweer.
Okay.
Tweer.
So first up on the agenda is DaBaby versus these fans.
So let's.
For those of you who don't know who DaBaby is one of these young rappers that's out here in these streets. Not to be confused with Lil Baby, because that's a different person. I feel like they should have talked before they chose names.
There's DaBaby, Little Baby, and Baby.
Yes, Baby. Are we talking about Baby like Birdman? Put some respect on my name. Okay, great. Just for clarity.
It's DaBaby, Little Baby, and Baby.
Yeah, so we're speaking about DaBaby specifically.
And Bad Baby.
I don't acknowledge Bad Baby. I don't know. What is the Bad Baby?
Okay, just move on.
I just want to know. What is it?
Okay.
Don't know what it is.
Yes,
DaBaby. Also known as Jonathan Lindale Kirk. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. North Carolina, come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. Swing it around your head like a helicopter. Sorry. I'm sorry. Every time I hear North Carolina, I hear that in my head. Shouts to Peter.
Stay for you. Stay for us.
Okay.
Who am I? Petey Pie, mother.
Are you...
Okay.
Are you quite finished?
Let's go.
Okay, great. Sidebar. That is one of Mark's favorite songs.
Yes.
Of all time. It's the most random fact I know about Mark.
Yes.
He actually goes up for that song.
I love that song.
He goes up for it. Anyway, I did not expect the rendition, but we're gonna go along. So yes, Mr. Baby, DaBaby, Charlotte, North Carolina. The songs that he has out that most people probably know are Suge and Bop. I know if you go look it up, Suge like Suge Knight, Suge, look it up. You've heard it before. Yeah. I didn't realize that that's what the song was called. I had heard it before, but didn't know that that's what it was called till I actually went and looked it up. I was like, oh, I've heard the song before.
And DaBaby's album, like I've heard a few of DaBaby's album track. His album's called Kirk. His intro is pretty good, actually.
Yes. I'm going to.
He be kind of rapping.
Yeah,
you don't have to play it.
No. I've downloaded the album. I'm gonna listen to it like in its totality so that I can get the full scope. But like from the few songs I've heard of his, I do like so far. So little backstory on DaBaby. So DaBaby is interesting young man, interesting history. So DaBaby caught a body in North Carolina. Caught a body. Shout out to Bobby Schmurda. Not a week ago, but he did catch a body. He was in a Walmart with his child, and this person was in the Walmart following him around, being weird, and a scuffle ensued. He shot the person. They died. He pleaded self-defense because I think they had charged him initially with, some type of, second-degree murder or something of that nature. Mm-hmm. But, it was proven, I guess, that he acted in self-defense, that the person attacked him first. And what's the word I'm looking for? And he just had like a charge of carrying a concealed weapon, which I guess he didn't have registered or wasn't supposed to have, or whatever the case is. So with that being the history that we know about DaBaby, what recently transpired over this past couple of days, he was at where was he? He was in Miami somewhere at a hotel, I believe. And he was with his child again. And a hotel employee was like filming him, I guess.
I think he was one of the valets.
Yes. The person was filming him. And I guess he was like, hey, can you stop filming me? I'm with my child. And the dude was like, yeah, okay. Then a couple minutes later, DaBaby figures out that the guy is still recording and is about to post whatever he has recorded. And so he kind of pushes him and is like, yo, stop doing that. Da, 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 da. And so he was arrested. Not arrested, but I guess he was arrested after the incident because they found out he had a warrant in Texas somewhere. So it's a battery charge, basically, because he like physically pushed the individual and kind of yelled in his face about filming him. And my thoughts on it were, one, it's knowledge that this man has killed someone for running up on him and his family. Like, someone did it, they died. Rest in peace to that person. But you know that man is about that life. He will protect his family at all costs. He's very strong about, I don't want my kids photographed. I don't want my kids recorded. I don't want people to know where my kids are. Keep my kids out of whatever it is you're trying to do. I understand that I'm a celebrity, but keep my kids out of whatever you're doing.
He's worried about people knowing where his kids are.
Yes. And so I'm just like, why do you keep pressing him? And after he told you, hey, stop recording, you're still doing it. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with people. I don't get why they feel like celebrities are just like open access to them and they feel like nothing is off limits. Everything is not a moment to record. Everything is not a moment. Everything is not something to go viral. Sometimes people just want, like, to me, I'm like, if he was by himself or he was with other adults, I'd be fine. But he's with a kid. Like, why are you recording him? Like, he's not doing anything. He's not performing. He's not doing any of that. He's walking somewhere with his child. Like, why are you recording him? Why does he have to tell you a second time, hey, yo, my man, cut it out?
I'll even go on record and say, like, I think it's out of order that he can't just not be left alone in general.
Right.
But he also understands that, like, he just can't. He really doesn't like it, and I think celebrities don't like it, and they really hate it. But he understands that he'll just be fighting all day if they try to stop him from recording him. But he's like, if I'm going to do anything, I'm at least going to fight for my child. Mm-hmm. I'm going to fight for no one recording my child and recording my family.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember seeing the comments like this, oh, you're a celebrity, dude. I was like, yeah, but even though he's a celebrity, his children are not.
His children are not celebrities.
His family is not.
No.
He is.
He is.
His children shouldn't have to go through it because of the whole thing.
Exactly.
And, like, I realized, like, lately, like celebrities are just annoyed with the whole thing now. They're just more annoyed with the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you saw. I was talking about it before, like when Jay-Z took that person's phone.
Jay-Z snatched that phone so fast. That guy didn't know what was happening. He was like, because Beyonce's over there dancing with Kelly and somebody else, and this dude is standing back there like a creeper, recording. And Jay-Z snatched that phone out of that man's hand so fast. Dude was like, oh, whoa, hey, whoa. Jay-Z's like, come on, man. Come on. Like, this
like, is... you got to stop. And, like, sometimes you just don't want to... Like, I understand, like, just being angry. Like, once in a while, like, all right, stop. Yeah. Come on.
Like, come on. Just
like,
relax.
Certain things, there are planned. There are places that you can record me.
Right.
There are locations where you can record me.
Right.
There's sometimes when I'm, like... but sometimes you cannot.
Right. Like, because I promise you, if I was a celebrity...
They get recorded every time they leave the house. Yeah. They record it every time. They get all of that.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm in a private event. Right. I don't want to be recorded. Right. I should not have to be.
Right. Like, I just don't understand what's wrong with people. Like, just act like you know, like you got some sense. Like, what's the concern? Like, why can't you just see this person, be like, hey, and keep it pushing? Like, why do you have to pull your phone out and record them, like, just doing something regular? Like, I don't understand.
And post it.
And post it. For what?
Yeah.
For what?
But it does become a security issue.
Right. Because you don't know what the backstory is. You don't know what's going on in that man's life. You don't know who's looking for him. And now you've put him and his family at risk, potentially trying to get a look. Like, it's not necessary.
Trying to get likes.
Trying to get likes. Like, they do anything for clout. Like, just relax. Just relax.
The whole thing's ridiculous.
And like I said, that man has caught a body off of somebody following his family before. I don't know why you people keep pressing him. Because it can happen again. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
So we're done.
Leave that man alone.
All right. But speaking of the Jay-Z Beyonce situation.
Yes. So.
Beyonce released, what is it called?
Ivy Park. She has it's Ivy Park, her brand, in collaboration with Adidas.
And I guess Blue Ivy.
Blue Ivy? What about?
I guess her and the daughter, I guess, putting together.
I don't know. Sure.
It sounds that way. Maybe sure. I could be completely wrong.
Sure.
But
I don't actually know.
But I guess the story. I guess you can introduce the story.
So basically, Beyonce sort of premiered visuals of this like line that she was putting out a couple of weeks or months ago. Like she took pictures of herself modeling the items and whatever the case is. And there's a couple other, like Lay Kelly 47 is in there. Shouts to Lay Kelly. She was one of our artist spotlight people, like way back. So it's basically like athleisure.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can describe the attire, basically. And so it came out this week, and it was done very, very jazzily, where Beyonce sent out these like trunks, basically, and they were like in the colors of the clothing, which is like kind of like a mustard yellow, orange kind of color and burgundy. And so she sent them out to various individuals. So, you know, who did I see that had them? June Ambrose, the stylist, she got one. Janelle Monáe got one. A couple of different, like Reese Witherspoon got one. A couple of different like celebrities and, you know, just different people on the socials got them. Ellen got one. Yeah, various people got them. And the products look really cool. Kelly Rowland had some on. I saw her. Of course, Kelly has them. She's Kelly. Kelly Rowland had some on. You know, a bunch of different celebrities. LaToya Luckett, I think, had some on. Like, you're just seeing people all out and about in their Ivy Park. So people are excited, like, oh my God, yes, B, these products are amazing, blah, 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 blah. Then the backlash comes. So apparently the sizing in the Ivy Park items only goes up to like a size 18. I think that's their largest size. And I guess the girls who are above a size 18 are up in arms and in an uproar over Beyonce not having a product to meet their size needs. And people were like, I'm disappointed in Beyonce. She claims that she's supposed to be this inclusive person, but she's not including the fat girls. Like, I wish that I would have seen Lizzo get in a box, this, that, the third, and the fourth. And, like, people are, like, vilifying her for not making products for the plus-size community. Let me be the first to say.
Is she even cool, Lizzo?
I don't know. I don't know.
Does she even know her?
I don't know if she knows her. I don't know. She might. Wait, did she? I don't even know. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen them post any pictures together. I don't even know. The point here is, though, why do you feel like Beyonce or any celebrity that is putting out a clothing line that is not plus-sized is obligated to make clothing for plus-size individuals? Why do you think that? I don't understand. At the size that I am at now, I cannot fit into anything that Ivy Park has for sale. You know what I could do if I wanted to? I could eat better. I could exercise. I could make changes to lose weight so that I, too, could wear Ivy Park. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not dismissing, you know, the various health issues and things that tie into why people are heavier. I'm not saying it's as simple as going on Weight Watchers and exercising. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. But what I am saying is, it's not as if there aren't products out there for your demographic.
Yeah, I was going to say like everything does not have to be catered for you. And I was telling Kristin, I was like, it's weird because like I think I've always grown up knowing that like certain products are just built for me.
They're not for me.
Some products it's not for me. It's just how it is.
Right.
And to brands don't have to, like if you are a company who makes something, you don't have to make it for everybody.
Absolutely.
That's not how it's supposed to be made.
Right.
If you are a retail location and you sell things, yes, I understand that. Your retail location, you buy products from certain things. Sometimes you want to provide products from for all facets of your customers. I understand that. As a brand, it is different. The example I gave before is hair products. People have been making hair products specifically, like certain hair products. They are made for non-black people here.
Yeah.
What up? And that's just who they are. They're just that's just how they're built. They're not built for coarse hair.
Right.
That's just how it is.
Right.
I'm not protesting them. They're just not for
Why
me.
would you want somebody that doesn't have this type of hair or any experience with this type of hair to be making products for it anyway?
Right. Like I don't have. It's not going to happen. They're not going to have anything.
Right.
On the flip side, there's people who make hair specifically for black hair. They're not making it for people who don't have black hair.
Right.
It's specifically meant for that.
Right.
And everything. As a company, you have an audience you cater to. It's okay to have an audience to cater to. That's how marketing works.
Right. Absolutely.
And everything. Maybe later on they might have she might have a plus size line.
Right. Like you don't know what she's working on.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean it's just. I think products can have different ones.
Absolutely.
They don't have. You don't have to have each product you have does not have to cater to all people.
Absolutely.
That's not how it works.
Absolutely. It just doesn't. There's so much stuff out there. Like I follow so many people on Instagram who make clothes for larger size women. Like there's this girl that I follow on Instagram. Her name is Shun M. Nelson, I think is her Instagram name. And all of the styling that she does with her clothing and the stuff that she makes is for people 2X and above. And like she makes beautiful stuff, and the way she shows you how she styles the outfits and how the different ways you can wear it and stuff like that. There are people out there that make stuff for the plus size community,
and those sizes,
and black people specifically that do it.
And those clothing might not be work for people who are smaller.
Right. So to me, I'm just like
you can't just take those styles and put on someone smaller.
Right.
So the same thing. She built those clothes for a certain size.
Right. Because Beyonce is what, an 8, 10 at best. So, like, maybe smaller. I don't know. So I'm like, why are we expecting someone who's not plus size and has never really been plus size to be making products for the plus size community? That's not a population she's familiar with. So the expectation that she was going to have a product for that is a little outrageous. And then the fact that people were going back and forth with her or going back and forth.
You can expect it, but if they don't have it, you can't get upset. You can expect it. But
and vilifying her, like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
It just is confusing. I just don't understand anything that's going on with it. It's just confusing. Just celebrate that this woman put out this product in partnership with Adidas and just do that. Like, I don't understand why we got to drag her for allegedly being exclusive of your community. Like, everything ain't for everybody. There's a whole Lane Bryant, there's Torrid, there's all these clothing places for the larger women, okay? I'm not mad because Beyonce stuff I can't fit right now. By the end of the year, I might can fit it. I don't know. But, like, I'm not mad about it. Like, just like I always tell Mark, like, soon as I get my life right, Savage by Fenty is going to be me. It's going down because, you know, I stand Robin. So, but, like, until I'm not mad because I'm like, oh, she don't. No. Just I'm going to get myself together and figure it out. Where are other things? I don't know. People are annoying. So moving on. So it's award season. If you pay attention to that stuff. So
it is trash that like all of Black History Month is awards. But
yeah, all of Black History Month is award season. It's the Grammys.
It's
Super
Bowl
Oscars,
and awards.
Yeah, Super Bowl. Super Bowl and award season is basically what Black History Month is. So I never thought about it like that, but you're right. So Oscar nominations came out, I think 2 weeks ago, and basically it's Oscar so white again. The nomination list is looking really, really, really very, 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 very Caucasian. I think the only person of color that's actually nominated for something is what's that girl's name? Cynthia Erivo, who is nominated for what's that movie? Harriet, which I did not see, but Cynthia Erivo is amazing as an actress and as a singer, so I'm sure she did a great job. But I didn't want to see no Harriet movie. I don't know. I just wasn't interested. I don't want to see it. But basically, all the other categories, it's just white people. Like that, I don't know where the people of color are, but they're not here. And I'm like, I feel like we've been in movies this year, so I'm not sure why nobody's represented. I'm confused because I feel like we were in movies this year.
No, we were in movies.
We were. I saw a few of them, but we're not there. So it's just very interesting to see. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am not a person who is like, let's protest. Like, we know what time it is with the Oscars. Their history has shown us that we know what time it is. I'm like, Harriet. That's all. That's the only one. Like nobody else. Nothing else.
That's what I said. Like,
okay.
We also have to stop using the awards as our
gauge for success or
how good
worthiness or whatever.
So we gotta stop doing that also.
Absolutely. I'm just like, dang, like of all the movies that came out, we couldn't find nobody else.
But it's always like the slave movies. It's always that.
That's my problem.
It's always
the slave movies. I'm like, I'm sure that we were doing other things.
Those will always get nominated every time.
Every time. That being said, Joaquin Phoenix better get his things at this award show because that man acted down the Joker. Give him his things. Okay? That's all I have to say. Give him his things. I don't want to hear anything more about it. Give him his things. That's it. That's all. Thank you for playing. Give him his things. This is probably not a show I'll be watching because usually I watch the Oscars even though it's quite boring. I might watch the pre-show just to see the fashions, but like the actual show I'm probably not going to watch because y'all only got what's her face over there, Harriet, and I keep calling that girl Harriet. Her name is Cynthia Erivo. If she wins, I'll tune over, but I don't have any intentions of watching it.
Word.
The only other thing that I'm excited about is the original song, Into the Unknown from Frozen 2, has been nominated. I might tune in to watch them perform that live, but beyond that, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah. In other news, Oscar winner Monique appears to have finally secured a special on Showtime. The payment situations have not been disclosed, but hopefully it's more than Netflix was offering her.
Word.
But yeah, she is getting ready to give us a special during Black History Month, no less. February 7th is supposed to be coming out on Showtime. I don't think I have Showtime, but I mean, I guess I'll find somebody else's Showtime login and figure it out. But I'll be happy to see it because I think Monique is hilarious. I've always enjoyed her stand-up. So I'll be ready. I'll be ready to see what's going on.
Speaking of Showtime, I want to go talk about what I was going to say before.
Showtime at the Apollo.
So let's talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix has a streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
Hulu has a streaming service.
Everybody got a streaming service.
HBO Go has a streaming service. Disney Plus is a streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon Prime is a streaming service, right? And everybody's trying to release a streaming service. You know what's funny to me? Everybody's releasing a streaming service. The price is going to go up, and then someone's going to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna create something that combines all of them together, which is called Cablevision."
Not Cablevision, child.
And it's gonna be. I feel like this is a plot by Cablevision to get everybody back at Cablevision. Because Cablevision's go like this: "Hey, we have all of them together. You mean what you've always had the whole time? What you've always had your whole life?"
I mean,
with just on demand, it's the same exact thing. This is the whole thing. Like if everybody has a streaming service, then everybody can go back to Cablevision. It's going to happen because this is ridiculous. I'm not going to pay $50 for 5 different streaming services and then pay extra $40, $50 for all the other channels, which is the same price as having it. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense at all. The whole thing is trash. I just want to point out that how trash everything is quite trash. What they need to do is like start this. People need to create some more internet services and stop all these streaming services.
Yeah.
So I always like someone needs to create more than just files and Cablevision in terms of like internet. Someone needs to do that.
I mean,
someone get into that market.
Seriously, one of you out there that's thinking about a career change, if this is up your alley, go for it.
Because
make us happy.
Because people just want some internet.
Mm-hmm, that's it.
People just want some internet. So if get some more internet services out there, and people get into that.
That's it, and that's all.
Yeah.
The other thing that I want to talk about, so Tyler Perry put this movie out, Fall from Grace. I saw the preview for it. It looks like a Tyler Perry dramatic production. It's on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet. I'm debating whether I want to or not. Some people are like, oh, it's surprisingly good. Other people are like, yeah, it's predictable Tyler Perry shenanigans. I do want to see it. Maybe I'll get myself to watch it this week and talk about it like next week. I don't know.
Tyler Perry is annoying because you have to support him.
You don't have to.
No, I mean like in general, not like as an artist.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry is so necessary, and people are always so conflicted because people are like, you have to support him as a person. He's very important.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's what he's done. His impact.
He's very important for everything, but like his shows, you kind of like.
Yo, that show, The Oval, is the trashiest show I've ever seen. Like the camera angles, just. The acting, it is abysmal, truly. Honestly, I tried to watch an episode the other day. I really sat down and was like, what is this? This is trash.
But he is too important, so we have to still support him.
So one of the things that came out this week that fully explains why Tyler Perry's stuff be looking the way it looks, he doesn't have a writer's room. He writes all of the stuff himself. I guess he said, he tried to have writers before and it didn't work out for whatever reason. So, excuse me. According to him, it's work ethic. He does it himself. I'm like, okay, that's why this looks like this. Because nobody else is in the room talking with you and fleshing the ideas out with you. It is literally going from your head to paper.
Nobody's like, hey, this right here, maybe you want to
change that. Maybe that sounds dumb. Or maybe that looks dumb. Because there's some things in Tyler Perry, you just be looking at the plot lines like, sir.
It's like.
Good sir.
It's like you can have some of them that are good, but you need somebody else to like look at something just to change it up.
Yeah,
because like it seems they all seem like similar. It's like having a song and you're always using the same producer. Mm-hmm. It's like they're all gonna have the same kind of sound.
Yeah.
And you want to switch it up.
Yeah.
So you need other ears, other eyes.
So between the fact that he wrote this movie himself and he shot it in 5 days, I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm mortified, but also curious to see what the end product is going to be. So maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I'll watch it tonight and see what happens.
Well, also Bad Boys and Coming to America shot the same
thing, but not the same quality, not the same writers. Obviously, it's different.
No,
but
the studios,
right?
The studios, like
but there's levels.
I have like every time he does something, I have to also mention the studio every time to make myself
feel better. Because I have a sneaking suspicion that this movie's about to be trash. And
so even in the midst of your review of it, I'm like, hey, but remember Tyler Perry Studios is good.
And I'm
also.
probably going to tell you to shut your mouth. Just if this movie is garbage,
you have to keep mentioning Tyler Perry Studios.
I'm about to go in. Shoot, I might not even wait till the podcast. I might go live and talk about it, depending on how bad it is. But anyway, that's that on that.
Okay.
And the final thing I didn't write it down. I want to talk about on here. So Power. I don't know if you've been caught up yet. Kent, did you watch it yet?
No, I am a non-Power watcher.
Oh, you don't watch Power, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. No. Okay. So this podcast comes out on Tuesday. So if you haven't seen it by now, I don't know what to tell you.
Kent, talk to the mic now. It was on before.
Talk on the mic now. What?
Great.
What?
Yeah.
The mic wasn't on before.
Oh, my bad. I am a non-Power watcher. So if you spoil it for me, it doesn't really matter.
Okay. So I just wanted to say before, it's Tuesday. If you haven't watched Power yet, just skip past this part. So we now know that the killer of Ghost, it's not Paz, it's not Tommy, it's not who's the other person? It's not We know who it's not. I'm still debating who I think it is. I'm leaning more towards Tariq, or maybe Tasha and Tariq together. This was a really good episode, this one that just aired. The little girl that plays Elisa Marie acted her face off. Love her. Debbie Mazar, who I love to death, played Benny's sister or cousin or whatever. She was amazing. This episode was actually, I think, the best one out of the season so far. I'm a miss Tommy. Tommy rode off into the sunset. I'm a miss Tommy. I think they have 2 more episodes left before they reveal who actually shot/killed Ghost. Rest in peace to the homie Dre as well. Dre was trash. He was garbage. He was a garbage individual, but he played that character so well. Like, he went out like in a blaze of glory, literally. But maybe not glory. Burning to death doesn't seem fun. But he went out like how he was supposed to, in my opinion. So we know he not the one that killed him. We know it's not Paz. Because that episode with Paz was so annoying, by the way. Jesus of Nazareth. Ugh. How Paz was walking around with a gun in her bag for like the whole episode just on the streets of New York City. That would never happen in real life. How you get in a club with a gun, my G? How? What kind of pat downs they doing at this club? We also got to talk about how James' security system at this club is sketchy at best, because people just keep walking up on him at this club, but it's whatever. So we know it's not her. We know it's not Tommy. So I think the suspects left are Sax. If Sax shot him, that is the wackest ending to the show and the possible world of whack endings. So I think the possibilities are Sax, Tasha, Tariq, Councilman Tate, aka Lorenz Tate, and I'm still holding on to Ramona as a possible. They're not showing her as a possible killer, but I'm still holding on to her as a possible killer because something about her don't sit right with me. And there's so many like unexplained storylines that I'm keeping my good eye on Ramona. My good eye. But I'm excited to see how the series ends. I will say this. If they think that I'm about to watch a spinoff with Tariq, they got another thing coming. Tariq is literally the most hated character on television right now. Nobody likes Tariq. Everybody wants Tariq to die. Everybody. Because he's trash.
Like Fabulous said, I hate y'all like I hate Tariq.
Yep. Yo, everybody wants to fight Tariq. Everybody's tired of that little boy. Like, Tariq has caused so much havoc over the last 2 seasons. It's just like, my God, what is wrong with you? So, yeah. I'm excited to see what happens next on Power. That's all I had. And like I said, I told y'all to skip. So if you ain't skipped, that's your business. I'm not mad. Now we're moving on to T-Tips. BLM T-Tips.
I'll just use what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, our campaign is what? My love is fearless.
It is. My love is fearless. We didn't
My
need to
love
sing
is
it.
fearless.
Mm-hmm.
But my love is fearless.
You get very singy on this podcast. I'm not really sure why.
Yes.
Every other time in life you talk normal, but when you get here, it's like, let me sing.
Yes. My love is fearless. Campaigns work.
Your vocals are fearless.
Okay.
What?
That was disrespectful.
It wasn't. You the one that like coming here and singing all the time. There's no shade. He's fearless with the vocals. He come here to sing.
Okay.
I come to pod. He came to sing.
My love is fearless. Is the hashtag. I think a lot of times it's good to have campaigns, and like we're gonna try to do the campaign through Black History Month, and just to like demonstrate how the campaign works process. So just look on the socials as we go through this process, and just you'll see how this works.
Word.
I'm trying to do more of showing y'all other than just saying words, just showing the effectiveness of it.
I can show you better than I can tell you.
So, yeah. So we'll go from there. All right.
Show and tell.
And I think that's it. That was BLM.
Word to Big Bird.
Anything else?
Nah, man. That's it.
All right. So,
Happy Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah. It is.
Shout out to the homie. Rest in
Shout out
peace.
to the homie.
Yeah, he's the homie. Rest in peace. Let's remember to keep his legacy alive. Not the whitewashed one, the real one. Be blessed.
All right. And adios. And now we will bid you adieu.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
It's the All Love, No Fear podcast.
Hey.
It's the All Love, No Fear podcast.
Hey.
Check us out. It's the All Love, No Fear podcast.
Podcast.
All Love, No Fear podcast.